Hello everyone, and welcome back to the PlankCraft Modded server here playing All the Mods 3 with me, Big Matis. And today, we are going to get this bad boy rocking and rolling, because it's basically just been sitting here collecting dust. We definitely got some power generating in here last time, but it was garbage. So, we've got a couple of challenges ahead of us for this, and I'll explain what's going on over here in a second. But our number one challenge is cooling. If you remember from last episode, keeping this thing cool so it doesn't explode, well, it doesn't melt down. And how we're going to do that is we're going to turn these 8 Enderium, and we're going to swap that out for active fluid coolers. Now, the active fluid coolers take a liquid form of the solid cooling material that these are taking, and that is where this comes in. So I've just been grabbing a bunch of blocks and dropping these bad boys into this chest. Fills this up, and I made some blazing pyrotheum to melt it so it melts super fast. And then we have a quantum tank. And we have 13 million, almost 14 million Enderium in here at the moment. I've been doing this for a little bit. We'll get there. So we need basic plating, tin ingots, copper ingots, and a cauldron. So we have 8 active fluid coolers, and I'll click on one at a time because this it gave me extra. And then we're going to make some ender tanks to go with it. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to put one ender tank on this, and this system will not be staying here. I have not figured out how I want to do it yet, but where we're standing right now is going to be our fuel manufactory. Extract always active. Insert like a saw. We're gonna do one blue, and then I think you can put a diamond on this to privatize it. Yes, you can. That was weird. Okay, so now we're gonna go inside. We're gonna rip these out and see what the I should have waited. I want to see what the difference is. Put that up there. Alright, let's see. Real quick, because I think it'll still tell you the cooling. Yeah, we're at negative 3220 heat per tick. Let's put our active cooler down. Our... Why would that be full? Gotta put a space in there. Wonder if I filled it up before I... Alright, let's extract, always active, and insert. The only difference I see between this and what I have in my creative testing is a buffer port. So we have to pull this out, put in one of these buffers, and I'll show you real quick, simple recipe. Buffer. Just a couple of the copper solenoids, some basic plating, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to do this. So we're going to put this bad boy out there. See if that helps. Extract, always active. I don't know why. Maybe you're not allowed to have these tanks inside. I don't know. And extract, always active. We're going to do a little bit of insert action. Pump the fluids out. This is full. That's full. Nothing. Well, I read something online from the FTB wiki that says it has to be resident ender, not Enderium. Even though this is an Enderium cooler made with Enderium, the active one has to be resident ender. So I emptied all these tanks, and we're about to cook up some of these ender pearls and see what happens. Alright. But, yeah. 8,200. 8,200 versus, this may waste a little bit, but I don't care. Come on. Versus 55, this is 3,000. That's it? I mean, it's still pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it's not what I was going for. Huh. Okay, so let me add the other ones in. Well, I am definitely afraid that 23,700 isn't going to be enough. I've got them all set up. I'm going to have to dump a bunch of ender pearls in here. Yeah, I got some in here. I'm going to get myself another quantum tank going. Figure all that out once we move this bad boy, but we got to work on some fuel. And this fuel situation is going to be insane. Let me show you. Let's just go with, we're gonna do uranium. If you figure out what you can do with this, go over till we see the nuclear craft stuff. And we see an isotope separator. We end up with uranium-238 and uranium-235. Now, if you look right here, it's 235, uranium-235, and uranium-238. Now, this is an oxide, so all we have to do to make this is we have to get we have to pump it with some oxygen. Oh wait, yeah, I clicked the wrong button. So we have to get some oxygen in there. Now there's mechanism, nuclear craft. There's a couple different methods of getting oxygen. We'll probably use the mechanism. And then you pump it into your 235 directly. So then you make this, which was, yeah, 235 oxide and 238 either, apparently. And that gives you this fuel. Alright, here's where the process begins, because this fuel right here gives you 672 RF per tick, plus all the mathematical craziness that nuclear craft does. But if you right click on that, and you see the what button I was looking for the whole time. So when you deplete that, it turns into, it goes from HEU to 35, whatever, and then you right click on that. Fuel reprocessor now gives you plutonium. Okay? Okay, you following me? So you have to make the uranium fuel, put it through a nuclear fission reactor, then you have to reprocess the fuel to get plutonium. Then for that, you can make this fuel, which is 588 RF per tick. You I think I'm doing this right. You right click on that, you put that through your fission reactor, and you end up with this depleted fuel, HEP-239. Okay, now you put that in a fuel reprocessor, and you end up with curium. Right click on that, right click on that. Yeah, that gives you this fuel. Now we're up to 907 RF per tick. We'll right click on that bad boy, we'll put that through the fission reactor, and now we have depleted HECM-245. Trust me, you think your head hurts? My head hurts. Now, we are going to reprocess that fuel, and now we have californium. Californium is the place you ought to be, so we're loading up our kin, and we're going to make this fuel right here. And this is the good stuff. 1,209 RF per tick on this fuel base, plus all the multiplication. But if you look at the heat, it's 870 heat per tick. So, things are about to get crazy. So what we have to do is we have to make ourselves a couple of small fission reactors just like this. So we're going to clear this area. Now this is going to be a journey for all of us, and don't worry about the way this looks. Again, I'm probably going to have to readjust everything once I figure out exactly what the footprint of all this crap is going to be. So we know right off the bat we're going to need an isotope separator to separate out the isotopes of the uranium, and then those are going to have to go into a, we're going to have to go into a crafter, but, oh yeah, okay, I'm losing my train of thought here. We need to make a couple of machines real quick. I've got all the parts here. Yeah, why did that go away? Oxygen, love is like oxygen. You get too much, you get too high. But anyway, the electrolytic separator takes the water, separates out hydrogen and oxygen, and I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the hydrogen. But we have all the parts we need for the electrolytic separator. Boom. Now you have to turn the oxygen into liquid oxygen with the condensator, the rotary condensator. We have all the parts for this. Boom and boom. Like I said, all this is going to change, guaranteed. I made two different infinite water sources. I really don't know anything about either of these. One is from Overloaded, and one is from pressure pipes. I like the look of this one from Overloaded, so I want to see if that works first. I wonder if you can... Usually with these things, you got to pipe them into where these ports are. I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure. We have water in the pipe. Let's do this. No. Insert. Nothing. Wow, look at this thing. Oh, this thing is cool. Overloaded. I'm gonna have to check out this mod some more. That is too cool. It might need a... Nah, I mean, it's... Oh, it's loud. It's working. It's working. Look at that thing. That is cool. That is too cool for school. I made a ultimate gas storage tank. Ultimate gas tank. It's 512,000 capacity. And I don't know. Yes, okay. So we can just keep that in there. See how long that lasts. Who knew? Mechanism. It's a pain in the butt, but it's a cool mod. I'll tell you that much. I have moved the uranium that I just put down over to there, and I have made the fuel infuser, which is this recipe right here. Nothing difficult. That's ferroboron, which we know is boron and steel in the alloy furnace, which we have put away, but we're going to probably need to get out. We'll have to find, maybe over somewhere in this area, we'll have to do a processing unit for all this stuff, even though once we get it set up, we probably won't need it anymore. So we have the oxygen being made here. Oh my god, the neighbors. And then the liquid oxygen being made here. It is already flowing into this fluid infuser. So as soon as I put this in, we don't want nothing on that side. We should have an extract always active and an insert over here. And it should, there we go. So I looked up the recipe again, and if we just pump the oxygen straight into the uranium ingot, 10 hour per tick, that's not bad. I don't know how fast we're going to need this. I think this will be plenty fast enough. So once this bad boy comes out, then we have to put it into our isotope separator. Now that I think about it, that might have to be faster. Can we pump it directly out? Can we go in and out? Is it done? So we need some power. Power. So now we have a uranium oxide ingot. Yeah. We'll put this here. So we don't need this. Now we're gonna have to pump out on this one because otherwise we're gonna get the uranium ingots directly into the isotope separator, which is not what we're looking for. So we're gonna extract always active, insert. I think that's what we're looking for. This area is starting to look ugly. I have to get real creative to figure out how to make all this look good. And if you hadn't noticed, I made our first tiny nuclear fission reactor here. And I did it with a 1x2. Put the Enderium cooler down at the bottom. Put a nuclear casing. Man, a reactor cell on top of that. Surrounded it by casings. Put down a controller, and it didn't work. Well, it didn't cool. Apparently, these Enderium coolers that say must touch exactly 3 reactor casings, that means no more than 3. So I had to make a 2x2 to make this work. Figured I'd throw in a second one, and we're at negative 280 heat per tick. So as soon as we get enough of these uranium isotopes, we will make our first, which we have to set up a crafter now. That's the plan. Why, back and forth. So now we're going to extract always active, and then we're going to insert. Now we're getting our uranium ingots in here, and we create a Russell P, our oxide fuel. And apply. And now we wait. Good God, y'all. Ugh. That should have done it. Why is it not doing it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 235s. One. Why is that recipe still saying it's not oxide? I am so confused right now. We're gonna make our own recipe. Bam. There, we got our first fuel at 272. I'm really tempted to stick it in here just to see what would happen. But it'll take it, which defeats the whole purpose. Now is when things get really ugly. Really, really ugly. Extract. Oh, give. Insert. There it is. We got a heat gain. That's not good. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We gotta turn it on. Boom. Boom. Let's see what happens with this heat, because energy stored. We need to get the energy back out of the system. Wow. That's a lot of heat generation. Why? Why? I don't even see it processing. What happens if we pop this bad boy? We should be able to put like a saw. Should be able to do that, right? No. Ha! You can't put a reactor cell in there, that's for sure. Please tell me the fuel stayed. There. Oh, it's ticking. It's ticking. Look at that. Negative 185. Whew! I was a little worried. Oh, did we just... Yes, we did. We got our second fuel. So I'm going to steal this second fuel and I'm going to pop it in here just to see what happens. Holy crap, look at that heat. Look at that heat. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, thank you. Holy crap. How much power are we generating now? 50,000. We got problems for days. If we put the Californium in there, we are screwed. If I understand correctly how this works, whoops, once I put this back in, this should be what we need. Basically, we just have the comparator test for heat. Then it's going to go down into a repeater that's behind that block. And it should stop this torch. Yeah. Yeah. I screwed up somewhere. Let's see. Originally, that was gonna go. So let's go back to that original configuration. Knuckle saw. Then a knuckle saw. Knuckle saw. So once this gets up to 50%, it should turn it off. But I'm gonna watch it like a hawk because I'm scared to death that this thing's gonna melt down. It turned itself off already. Interesting. Wait. Just the comparator itself turns it off? Because I don't see that going out. Oh, there it goes. I mean, at least it never runs out of power, so it's continually making power at 50,000 RF per tick. Nice. And we got extra fuel in here. Oh, I'm so... Oh, this is insane. Californium produces so much more heat than the fuel that we're using right now. This HEU oxide fuel. Oh, it's insane. So I'm going to have to work on some cooling. But once we start getting some products out of here, then we can just ship it into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Yeah. Whew. I am currently on a bit of a side quest here because I realized that those energy conduits I'm using only transfer 20 RF per tick, and I need more than that. So I did magma crucible up a bunch of redstone. I guess I'll have to make some more. And I've made these resonant flux ducts. These things right here with some I used fused quartz and electrum, and then I'm going to bump that up to electrum once they're all full, and then up to resonant flux duct. Signal, I'm sorry, yes. Signal them, resonant, and then I'm going to do some gelid cryothium into these cryo-stabilized flux ducts. See this, y'all? Nice, easy recipe. Fuse quartz, sweet. So I'm gonna have to fuse up some more quartz, and then I'm fill these bad boys. I got all the stuff I need, and we're good to go. I knew this nuclear craft stuff was gonna be difficult, but geez Louise, look at this. Look at it. Oh, I have put, all the ender tanks in the corners are working, and I've also, let's take a quick peek in there. I have set up all of the emerald ones that I can reach. There's still a couple down underneath, but they are all pumping emeralds out now. I've set up the couple of quick smelteries over here. I've got to pipe some more stuff in there, but there's plenty going right now. I'm ducking because I don't want you to see this. I set up 4 of these, and you know we had them this size. Well, that's not going to work. When I turned it on, or I was getting ready to turn it on, I was getting it all set up, and it wasn't quite working right. It was way too much heat, actually, to be honest with you, and I wish I'd been recording it. I had a meltdown. I lost, a couple of these blocks, a couple of those blocks here and there. It all melted down, lit me on fire. It wasn't really that spectacular. So I widened this thing up and moved these guys out into the middle and made them the active coolers with the resonant ender. And we have 7 cores in there, so hopefully it'll go faster. And I've just been waiting to turn this back on. And I have also set up the overheating, because when I knew it was going to overheat when I had that other one, but I was just going to put the torch down, look at it real quick, and take it back out. In that quick amount of time, it melted down on me. That's why I didn't record it. It was done. And, well, we'll see what happens now. But just so you know, we're at 16.8 on the RF, and we're only at 150 heat, thanks to these cooling. I took one of the reactor cells out because it was 8,000 heat per tick with that in there, and I couldn't come up with a really good way to cool it off. So I just took one out. No big deal. This is just for making fuel anyway. But a couple of things. It won't make the fuel, it won't burn through the fuel if the RF is full. So, thus the cryo-stabilized flux ducts, which I needed it for here, but I'm using them for here too. And this is piping it over into the power ball. And I think, well, I know at this point we're definitely making more power at 16.8 than all of this stuff is using, and everything else combined should use. So now what I have to do is I have to set these 4 up in this manner, which is probably not going to work, because as we go up in tiers on the fuel, so the heat will go up. But we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a couple of, where are they? Fuel reprocessors. It's just tough alloy, machine chassis, all the stuff we've seen before, and a linear actuator, which is nothing but ferroboron alloy, piston, copper, and steel. So I'm going to make up, we need 1, 2, 3, yeah, I think 4. Yeah, 4 on this one, and this one's going to make the californium fuel that's going to go back into here. This has been a long wait for a long-winded episode. It's actually been probably, I'd say a week and a half since I recorded the last clip. And I've got all this stuff working, ticking away. I mean, I just had to keep rolling with, we have one in here going. I want to show you real quick what all this work has been for. It's this HEC little f 251 oxide fuel using the californium, giving us 1260 RF per tick, plus all the mathy maths that I'm not even going to begin to try to understand. But, well, lot of stuff what we have going on, and I don't know where I ended. I'm going to go ahead and run through this real quick. We know how the ingots are being made. I went ahead and put an ender chest over here that's just feeding. As fast as they're getting made, they're getting fed into here, and we're getting a lot of extra of this fuel. I can't wait to finish this episode because I'm going to tear this out and redo it. I've got plans for walls of these to see how to cool them. But if you're wondering what these red blocks are, those are just redstone passive coolers, just like the emerald ones that we used to have in here, just like all the ones we used to have. They're all liquid now except for the redstone. They may become liquid themselves too because this stuff is so hot. But if you look, like right now we're running this fuel at 16.8 RF per tick, 16,800 RF per tick, and then we're running this fuel at 14.7, and then this one is out again, but this one's somewhere around 15,000. And then this one's at 18.9. All of that is ticking away. So we're getting all that energy coming through this block. I've had to reset all of this. Blink. Can we... This would be power plant 2, I guess. Yeah. Why... These are all inputs. It should be. I don't end it with the why. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we should be putting out somewhere in the ballpark of like 60,000 RF per tick just from making the fuel when they're all running. And as a I've got a whole bunch of byproduct stuff working over here. That's what all of this stuff is. And I can make a bunch of these Americium RTGs and Californium RTGs, which is just a byproduct. This one right here. This, nope. I believe it is the 251. That must be coming out of this bad boy. No. Anyway, one of these has a byproduct of Californium, and I believe it's 251. It's not good for anything else. No, it's got to be this 249. No, it's not the 249. Anyway, one of these is not good for anything else except for making those RTGs. And those RTGs put out 400 RF per tick just constantly. It's just a passive generator, which I haven't tested. I just slapped it over here. Man, I gotta figure out why that's not working. And my AC just came on. Oh well. Anyway, so if you just filled up a room full of those bad boys, you wouldn't need any of this stuff. It would just be passive power all the time, I think. I have to do some testing on that. But, all these byproducts are going, and we have decay hasteners going over here too. Turning them into these blocks. And I turn these into another source of fuel. Yeah, 806. 806.4 RF per tick with this bad boy. I mean, I know I need to speed this up because this video is gonna get long with all this nonsense. But what else are you gonna do with all this extra byproduct? All these different steps. They make all this extra fuel. So there is a way of turning all of that into another fuel source, or you know, just into the RTG, something. All of this is useful, but you have to figure out how. And it is a cesspool of information inside of the, whatever this is called over here. My brain fart, can't think of it. You know, I can make another fuel out of this. And this one is 772 RF per tick. So I'll probably end up with another, or I'll just feed them in. I'm hoping to get this thing cranked up so it can burn through some of this fuel. Because we have a ton of fuel that we're making through this uranium refinement system here, just this first level. And this bad boy's already up to 50,000 RF per tick just with this little setup. So I think we could do way better. But the big thing is we have 9 of these, and I haven't used a single one yet, and I am terrified of it. I think it's gonna burn. It's gonna melt this down like instantly. We're gonna have to wait a second for. No. Can we just stop? Let's not extract right now. Never active. Let's pull this out. As soon as that burns through, we're going to stick this in there and see what happens. But I'm going to finish showing you some things while that's doing it. I'm storing up some of this stuff just because it's such a chore to make. And we got an in and out on our alloy furnace, just making some of these ingots. And I'm turning some of it into this advanced plating, basic plating, some of these machine chassis. I'll probably get some more stuff in there, get all that stuff filled up. And another thing that's happening is my ender chest that's also taking uranium over there is taking ender pearls over here, and I'm burning through all my ender pearls. But I ran out of ender pearls and melted down one of these bad boys. I don't want that to happen again. Now we're sitting at, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 89 million millibuckets. It's a lot of millibuckets. So we're not going to burn out of that anytime soon. We are going through some blazing pyrotheum. But I have a plan to separate this from the garden over there, even though there's really no reason to. But I want to use, oh man, I can't remember what they're called. There's a thing. Let me find it real quick. It's this garden cloche that's right here. It grows plants. And what I want to do, and I saw this through Fullcraft with this gal, and I really thought it was cool. And we need to go from the garden cloche over to thermal expansion has the machine. No, it's hold on. We're looking at this thing right here, the villager trade exchanger. So I'm thinking of setting up a couple of these guys, trading for the emeralds. The emeralds would then go into the emerald smeltery system over here, which we're using, and then we can also use the emeralds to buy ender pearls and buy redstone. So if we want to set this up for liquid redstone in here and then fill in the emeralds, and oh yeah, so that's basically, this is a machine room, and I would like a bunch of machinery. We could probably end up taking these smelteries out and putting in, and I was testing it over here. It just burns kind of slow, but if we keep up a steady pace of it, oh, right here, a magma crucible. I should have brought an ender pearl over and shown you, like you've never seen a magma crucible before, but come on, can I have one? Bink. Stealing. Anyway, yeah, I'm burning them super fast from the farm. We had hundreds of thousands we put through that system already. But look at that. That's not too shabby. It does draw 750 or something. I think it's 750 RF per tick. I'm not sure. But we're making the power. I mean, we're barely begun to crack the surface of this nuclear generator stuff, this nuclear craft. And we're already making well over 100,000 RF per tick. In fact, I could just throw a couple of these Californium RTGs over there just to power it up. Pfft. I don't know if they ever burn out, but who cares? It's simple. It's so simple. But yeah, we'll tear that out. We'll put a little system in here for that. And since we're almost there, I think we're getting to the point where we'll still have room to try. I want to try some kind of advanced generator in here. See what's what, but that's in the future. For now, we're gonna call this episode done as soon as we can put some juice in here, which we can put some juice in here. Yes. And then I'm gonna rip all this out and rebuild it because I'm getting to know the rules of the interactions better. And I think if I put a reactor cell there and then I put a moderator block here, and then this would be a reactor cell. In fact, for confusion's sake, let's say that's a moderator, reactor cell, moderator. So those will still work. Then this would, you know, basically a little checkerboard pattern. Then I could put the emerald, the cooling blocks, whatever the heck they're called, in between here. And all I have to do is figure out how to feed them all. That might be an issue because we have to get piping in there. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But doing this, I think I can get a bunch of more of these coolers in there. Like so. So we could just do them over and over again like this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. and just have rows of them, and maybe we just do a break and we'll have pipes coming up through here. So we're gonna need a lot of emeralds. We're really gonna need to set up that system with the villages, but I gotta stop procrastinating. I gotta see if we can melt this down. I mean, with the size of this thing, it can take a lot of heat, and it does have the shutdown on there. It can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 36 million heats. Whatever you want to call heat. Call it a joule. What the heck? Because I'm an electrician. Joules are energy. That's yeah, whatever. Here goes the world. Yeah, that's a lot of heat. But that one fuel at this setup has us at almost 100,000 RF per tick. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Alright, so that's it. I'm done. We ran the fuel through this. We know what it was. My phone's going off naturally because I just hit the record button. Yeah, that was actually a break right after that little segment of putting the fuel in. I had a bunch of stuff going on, had to get off. But I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with this, get our productivity up in here, get our cooling up in here, and keep working on this process. And when we come back, we're gonna work on something for this, but it's gonna be totally different. We're gonna work on the processing setup for these fuels and probably redstone, see what we can come up with. And that's it. So thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out the PlankCraft reboot on the vanilla world. Yep. Make sure you check that out. Check out my last video that just came out on the channel, and you will see. Until next time, adios!